From Labradoodles to Cronuts, the world loves a hybrid. So today, businesses are taking a smarter hybrid cloud approach using the tools, platform, and expertise of IBM. The world is going hybrid with IBM. Visit ibm.com/hybridcloud.
You're listening to Cleveland and Beyond with Andy Billman and Jared Watson, brought to you by Evergreen Podcasts.
And we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. He's Andy Billman. I'm Jared Watson, and this podcast is brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also, we are a part of Evergreen Podcasts. Well, a well-deserved, no doubt, award for Kevin Stefanski. He is your 2020 NFL Coach of the Year, completing the year of Embrace the Suck for that award-winning NFL coach. And then, sadly, Clay Mathews Jr., getting dogged out, did not make the Hall of Fame as the NFL 2021 class was named on Saturday night. And we're going to take a look ahead to the Browns offseason and discuss a yawner of a Super Bowl. The Cavs have now lost 3 in a row, heading on a 5-game West Coast tour, and Larry Nance Jr. has a fractured finger and will be missing 4 to 6 weeks. Bummer for that. And finally, some tribe chatter as well to end the show. But first, your Coach of the Year led Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
All right. It's been a long week, everybody.
It's been a very long week.
Yeah, it's been frustrating.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but we're back, and it's good to be back on here. I just want to say good for Kevin Stefanski. That was a much-needed thing. That was a well-deserved thing. That needed to happen. That was a stamp on there. It's good that he won that award. Clay Mathews we'll get to in a second. That was disappointing. Hopefully he'll get through the senior pool class and gets through there. That'd be a good thing. He's well-deserved. And then there's all this chatter about, what's going to happen with whether it is Sherman. There's some Lattimore banter on The Athletic. Then you got some stuff, of course, with J.J. Watt. But I think the bigger thing that I took out of us, this has been a great month of celebrating Steelers victory, feeling great about Stefanski, feeling great about the team, really enjoying what 2020 is. I have to admit, as a Browns fan, I wear my Browns gear today. I did it on purpose. I'm ready to turn the page a little bit, though. I really enjoyed this last month. I feel like I enjoyed let's call it 12-5, 12-6. Enjoyed it a lot. So did my celebratory fan lap, we'll call it. Felt really good. I will say, Jared, I am prepared now to move forward and look what's going on to the draft, offseason, and getting ready for 2021. I'm closed the book. Like, I'm not done celebrating or feeling good about the year, but I'm done. Like, I thought after the Super Bowl, it's like, okay, that's done. I'm ready to now Cavs, Indians, yes. And more importantly for the Browns, what is up on the horizon? What is up next? How do we get to this game? I'm ready to get there.
Yeah.
Really ready?
I sat watching the Super Bowl last night, recording this on Monday. I sat there and all I thought about was the upcoming season. Yeah. I watched that game and all I was doing was anticipating, how are we going to get to this game next year?
That's what I felt
how
too.
are we going to possibly go up against Tom Brady next season? And that's a very realistic possibility, by the way. I mean, what are the changes that are going to need to happen? Lord knows most of those adjustments are going to need to happen on defense. That's where a majority of the tweaks are going to need to happen, on defense. And you saw what a defense can do when it performs well against those Chiefs. You saw that you can have a 4-man front dominate against the Chiefs with pressure. And you can't do it with Miles alone. So that is what I am anticipating. That is what I am looking forward to. And that's why I am focused fully on next season. I'm with you, Andy, 100%.
Yeah, I just think it's, I'll get to a couple comments here. Damien, good friend of the show.
What's up,
Damien? See you, Damien. Peterson from the Cardinals to the Browns, maybe. That would be great. I don't even know if Peterson's a free agent. I'm guessing not. That's going to take some trading, though. But Peterson's a great cornerback. He's actually, I think Peterson is still, he doesn't get thrown around there like Lattimore and some of these other guys. Peterson's very, very good. EJ, Browns would have lost. Boy, I don't know. But they should have been there last night. They would have scored at least a touchdown. At least I don't know if the Browns would have lost. The Browns did not beat the Chiefs, so it doesn't matter. But I think the Browns were on that magical carpet ride run, to be honest with you. Now, they could not stop Chad Henne on 3rd and 14, so what do I know? But I think that play bothers me. You know, other people get bothered by Hollywood Higgins. I get really bothered by Chad Henne. That irks me to no end. But yeah. All to be said, they weren't in the game, so it doesn't matter. Win the whole fucking thing. Yes, EJ, we agree on Facebook. Damian again from Facebook. The defense was absolutely potent last night. Mahomes ran for a total of 459 yards trying to escape the pressure.
Backwards.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say the one thing that really killed the Chiefs in this game is not having Fisher in left tackle. And the toe finally, it's amazing. 2 weeks.
Yeah, by the second half, the toe really was affecting.
Yeah, that shot wore off, whatever he took. Didn't matter. And to go back on Damian to this, Peterson will be a free agent. Arizona is expected to part ways with him. Well, I'll tell you the truth. That would be a great pickup. I think Peterson would make a lot of sense. I like Peterson more than I like, again, some of these other guys. Peterson just plays big. I've watched him a lot in his career. I'm very high on him. So, yeah, if they could ever sniff at Peterson, I'd be all over it. I will say, though, to me, the bigger thing is who's going to play in the opposite end, opposite of Myles Garrett. I think that is the bigger spot. And I'll get into this right now. I think this is where it goes into the J.J. Watt discussion. I am on this end. If you got to do things when it comes to trading draft pick or two to get J.J. Watt, do it. Pull the trigger. You cannot double team, logically, two players on the line. You can't double team Watt and can't double team Garrett. It would really, really change the perplexion. Watch the game. Ndamukong Suh and Jason Pierre-Paul, yeah, good luck. Like, that's what happens. Now, if you separate those two, I don't know if they're as good. Myles Garrett and J.J. Watt together that changes your D-line.
Right. Now,
you
can have the argument, too, which I've mentioned to you offline, Andy, that J.J. Watt only had 5 sacks last season, right? And J.J. Watt
didn't have no help. None.
Right.
0.
So there you go. You put those two together on that defensive line, and you're going to have to take care of both of them, and that is not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Can't do it.
So yeah. I'm with you on this. He wants out.
Let's help him out.
Yeah, why not?
Let's help him. I mean, I just think that's the move. The more and more I go down this road, it's either something like Von Miller or J.J. Watt. Let's just hit the fucking ball out of the park. Like, let's do a John Dorsey OBJ trade and let's pull it.
There's some weird shit going on down there with those Texans. Weird shit.
Yeah, they're going through a lot.
Weird. Saying they're not getting rid of Deshaun too.
By the way, fuck them. We play them next year, so enjoy. Yeah. Let the inferno burn. Yeah. Let it burn all day long. Oh, yeah. Too fucking bad. But all that to be said, like, I just love the fact of thinking J.J. Watt or Von Miller going up with that rush with Myles Garrett and Sheldon Richardson, and probably Billings or someone else. I don't think it's gonna be Larry. That front four. And by the way, Larry's numbers show that he needs to be gone through Pro Football Focus. So I'm not gonna. Yeah. I mean, Larry had a nice career here. He did a nice job. I heard he's a very nice man. I know his former agent well. Nice dude. Just didn't work out. Not didn't work out. Just played a string out. I really like the idea though. J.J. Watt, like Peterson, would excite me. Yes, that's actually. Peterson's more exciting to me than Richard Sherman. Peterson's more exciting to me than trading for Marshawn Lattimore. I like Lattimore, but I don't want to trade for him. I'd rather just sign a guy like Peterson. So
when I retweeted the Sherman, just his comments, I put the surprised eyes look just for the fact that he said he wanted to come to Cleveland. And part of that was the fact that I think a year or so ago, I think my nose squeaked when I just inhaled there.
It's getting emotional.
A year or so ago, he made a shitty comment about the Browns signing Stefanski. And now he wants to come back to Cleveland to play with Joe Woods as positive. So, I mean, Richard Sherman, first of all, is all over the place with his comments and saying dumb shit anyways. Second of all, I think Terrence Mitchell had a better Pro Football Focus score than Richard Sherman did last season. And Richard Sherman isn't exactly the old Richard Sherman that we all remember. So, folks, let's just not flip out about wanting to get Richard Sherman here and think that he's going to be a difference maker in that secondary for the Browns. Chill the hell out on that one. I really do not care whether Richard Sherman wants to come to Cleveland. I'm just not on that. I'm not on that boat. Not me. I don't know about you, Andy.
Richard Sherman would be nice. I would take him over Terrence Mitchell, but that's where I go. Like, you don't have to, like, it's okay. It'd be nice.
Meh.
It'd be nice.
Okay.
Be nice. Like, but like, do I get excited? I don't know about excited. Is he better than Terrence Mitchell? Yeah. Is he much better than that, though? No.
Nah.
He's better. I mean, look, different position. He would help out, people like Sendejo, but Sendejo's not gonna be here.
I think we're gonna have better options. That's where I'm at.
I think you're right. Possibly, it just depends how the Browns spend money. If they get a JJ Watt, Sherman makes a lot of sense. Because he'll be a lot cheaper.
Right.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. Peterson will not be cheap, nor should he be.
No.
Nor should he be. Peterson's a very good player. I think the bigger question to me about Sherman or Peterson is I think the other defensive end spot is a hole. It is a hole, actually. What am I saying? It is a hole. You have to fill that gap. The bigger question I have, which only the Browns will know, is Greedy Williams, A, coming back, and B, improving? That's your question.
Well, I think that also, if you watch that defense last night, that Tampa Bay defense, you really recognize that the Browns, since coming back in '99, have not had any strong linebackers, difference-making linebackers. And that is something that I don't know why. I know that we've talked ourselves into the fact that if they have a strong front and they've got a strong secondary, that they could kind of get away with not having the best linebacker core. I don't know about this anymore. I wish they would pay a little bit more attention to their linebacking, that position. I do. So
I'll say this: the Phillips, Taki, these are all drafted linebackers. They need to start playing better.
That's where we're at.
And and honestly, I actually hold some of this accountability to, that's John Dorsey. Now last year, Phillips was weird. So I thought Phillips played better than what his numbers would state in Pro Football Focus and other things. So I don't know what to think about Phillips yet. Mack Wilson regressed. So, again, that's another Dorsey pickup. So, again, the linebackers, it's weird. I think they have paid attention to linebackers, but they have not hit a linebacker yet.
Yes.
They've hit these other positions very, very well. But when it comes to linebacker for the Browns, I will say this to Jared, outside the Pepper Johnson and then, the Johnson brothers in the 80s, the linebacker has been very, very, been a hollow leg. There's really not been, I'm trying to even think, it just hasn't really been here. Like Chris Spielman and opening 99, does anybody get, that's what we're talking about. It really is. And Spielman never even played it down. I think I've got that right. I don't remember him playing, but it's my point being is Jared's right. Linebackers, I don't think needs to be the focus, but they can't ignore it. And I will say that's where Jared's right. Have they paid attention to it properly? Well, obviously not, because again, Taki, now he did improve as the year went on.
He did.
I have hope in Phillips. Mack Wilson loves a good wardrobe. Other than that, I don't know what they're really. He's a good
hype man on Twitter.
I like Mac. I like Mac's energy.
Heart. I do.
I truly wonder he's all over the map to me. Because I don't want to give up on him.
GV art shirts, and I love them.
Again, loves a good wardrobe. I don't want to give up on Mack Wilson, but I'm also now saying I kind of see where this road's going. Now, could it turn? Sure. But I'm very much I'll leave it there. Mack Wilson's got the proper energy at times, and he plays when he is focused and he's playing hard. And he's an Alabama kid, and that does excite me. And I'm not naive. Mm-hmm. So he's got some things in there. It goes, okay, he's got the right motor, he's got the right mindset. Can he put it together? So far, the answer is no, but I would hope that would change. But I do think at the end of the day, that other end spot is number one. Everything else is secondary free agency. Who is playing on that other end spot opposite of Jared? Who? Garrett. I keep saying, yeah, Garrett. God, what's going on?
Yeah, not me. I'm not going out there.
Yeah, no. Neither am I.
Andy, I'm the one on the meds that needs to be messing things up.
Oh my God. So yeah, Garrett. But Garrett on that other side, who is that guy? That is the key. I like Damien's idea, Peterson, I do, but that is not a priority compared to that other side of the line. That has to be solved first.
No, because the way that Woods was playing that defense all last year, you have to generate pass rush with your front four.
Yes.
Because he refused to do anything else.
All right, let's go down this road. I was going to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up now. Okay, obviously, and I forget the gentleman's name. He had a wonderful day as a defensive coordinator, the L Jets coach, who's now the defensive coordinator for Tampa Bay.
Oh,
Bowles.
Yes,
Bowles did a great job. Who believes in Woods that much as what Bowles did? I was not impressed with Woods, if I'm being truthful. I thought the Ravens game was embarrassing. I thought the Chiefs game, now watching it back, embarrassing. Embarrassing.
And again, though, Andy.
Embarrassing, Joe.
I like him. They're thin. They were thin on defense.
Jared, they didn't make a fucking adjustment in that Monday Night Football game.
I know they didn't make any adjustment.
They made one fucking adjustment. None. They let Lamar do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And boy, he take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Joe Woods needs to do better. These talented players need to do better. But it's a together team effort. And again, I'm going to state this a lot through the offseason. He deserved it. He is our coach. I want Stefanski to start giving up some things and let Alex Van Pelt do some more so he can focus on special teams and defense. I want him to start putting more emphasis on defense and special teams. He's a wonderful head coach. He has fixed a lot of things here, but he needs to put his nose in that huddle and say, hey, are we going to fucking stop Lamar Jackson on 3rd and 3? Or are we going to let him run fucking wild? Is Chad Henne going to get a first down on 3rd and 14? Or are we going to shut that shit down? Because the good teams don't let this crap happen.
Well, they can't. I mean, if they're gonna improve and they're gonna get to that Super Bowl next season, if they're gonna make those improvements and they're gonna win, and not get there as a wild card, but they're gonna win the AFC North, they're gonna have to beat Baltimore next year. You're gonna have to beat Baltimore once, if not twice, and then you're gonna have to and then you're gonna have to run through the playoffs. You're gonna have to beat good quarterbacks to get through that. You have to. You're gonna have to. I mean, look who Brady had to beat to get to the Super Bowl through the NFC. Aaron Rodgers,
Breeze,
Mahomes. Look at that. Mm-hmm. So your defense is gonna have to be able to get through Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Josh Allen. You're going to have to be ready.
Maybe Big Ben one more time. Without a Pouncey fumble or two.
Not worried about. I'm honest to God, I'm not worried about the Steelers at all. They are becoming a shit show. I'm loving every bit of it. I'm watching that implosion happen, and I am loving it.
Adding gasoline to the fire. Gasoline to the fire. Damien again on Facebook. Draft Zaven Collins. I've heard his name a lot with the first round pick. Hell of a blitzer. I do like Mr. Collins. I got to get more in the draft, but I do like that suggestion. I agree. I think the bigger thing that I took out of this game is the Browns had such a good year, but seeing what things are possible and seeing what thing is out there, the Browns could have played better against the Chiefs, and they could have done some things even better. Hey, look, they took some giant leaps forward. But again, I celebrated the year. I'm good. I've celebrated this team. Celebrate the coach. I'm ready to be like, we got to tighten shit up even more. Because to what Jared is saying, look at those big spots yesterday for the Buccaneers. And what did they force Mahomes to do? Run around like crazy. Not have any alleys. And again, I love this team, and I still believe in Joe Woods. I really do. I believe in Joe. But Joe can't allow what happened on Monday Night Football against the Ravens or what I saw in Kansas City. Can't.
The way that they had Tariq back and forth in the backfield and that they had him covered the entire time was beautiful on defense.
Yeah.
The only play that they had the entire game was Kelsey over the middle. That was the only thing that they could find. The only thing that they could find was Kelsey over the middle.
And by the way,
that was only when Mahomes had time.
Yep. And he looked frustrated. Kelsey looked frustrated. And kudos to Bowles. He did the old, remember when Peppers would play in the 25 yards away? He did a lot of that, and it worked. His safeties were backed up.
Oh, they were playing.
20,
Yeah, they
25.
were playing a zone that looked. Yeah,
the Peppers safety position, and you know what? It worked. It worked. It really frustrated Kansas City.
I can't believe how much Mahomes was running backwards.
All right, let's talk about the game. That's why I don't gamble. Way under.
I know. I couldn't believe. I mean, Tampa Bay covered.
Who had the Chiefs getting single digits? Single digits.
All
no
field goals.
Touchdowns.
All field goals. And don't give me now here, I'm going to say this too. The penalties, a couple of them might have been ticky-tacky, but the Chiefs were kicking their own asses.
It was 50-50. Some of them were like, yeah, they're getting hanky-friendly, Tom. They are. They're getting hanky-friendly, Tom. They are. Some of those, like, you got to get out of your own fucking way. You're offside. Yes. You're offside.
And then also, you couldn't get your offense going. Don't blame it on the fucking ref. You couldn't do shit with your offense.
Run the fucking ball. Run the fucking ball. They actually got yards on the ground and they didn't go to it more. Just hand the ball off. Hand the ball off. Hand the ball off. Hand the ball off. By the way, I'm ready to go down this road. When you're playing Tom Brady, you really shouldn't piss him off. Honey Badger. I like Honey Badger.
I know.
Player.
It was hilarious.
You know what? I don't know if I'd be wagging fingers.
Nope.
I think I would not be wagging fingers.
No, wrong guy.
I thought Kansas City was a little cocky all year, and they were still cocky in that game. And I don't blame. And it was not the. And by the way, they got flagged and should have. Winfield given the peace sign.
Oh, it was a return. It was a return the favor.
I don't blame him.
It was a return the favor. It was beautiful.
It was the best 15-yard penalty you could take.
Yes. And then Romo and Nance calling him, oh, you can't do that. Oh, get the hell out of here.
Kansas City all year wrong. Hey, look, I can't wait to smoke those fuckers being a Browns fan.
And I'm sorry.
I can't wait to smoke
as
that
a Browns fan, I know that there were a lot of Browns fans that are sitting there going, I don't want Tom Brady winning. No. I was rooting for Tampa Bay. I did not want Kansas City winning that. I'm still bitter from that Browns loss. I did not want the Chiefs to win that game.
I ended up not cheering for either teams. I can't stand Tom Brady.
Well, my wife's
wonderful player.
My wife.
Wonderful player. Look, I am not naive. I know what I'm realizing here. He won seven Super Bowls.
Oldest player in the NFL, 47 years old. Unreal.
10 Super Bowls, won 7.
Unreal.
I've been the biggest defender of the Montana flag. I got to take my flag down today.
Oh,
Tom Brady's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And it bothers the fuck out of me saying it, but he is.
And he might not be done.
Oh no! Ugh. Thank God we're not playing that team. Oh, that would frustrate me. But to my point.
But that's why I'm sitting here going, I would love it if Baker was the one.
Well, he is.
Wouldn't that be fun?
He's going to swing a big stick next year, and it's going to be a big year.
Yeah,
it's going to be a big year, and that's why I'm saying, like, I'm ready to turn the page a little bit. Not saying I won't look back or anything like that, and we're going to look back on shows throughout February and March on the season. But I'm just saying I'm ready to move on. I'm ready. And looking at this schedule, Jared, let's go through it real fast. Obviously, we don't know dates yet. They are playing a 17th game. It is the Arizona Cardinals, for people who are wondering. It sounds like from everything that I've been reading and hearing that I think it's the NFC team who gets the extra home game. So all the AFC teams will go with the extra road game on the road. So it's going to go by conference, meaning like there is no like half the AFC teams have a home game. No. All the AFC teams will have the extra road game. All the NFC teams will have the extra home game. So the potential 17th game will be the Arizona Cardinals. And then this next year you play the NFC North, much tougher than the NFC East. God, the NFC East was a cakewalk. And then they go play this year the AFC West. So you got the AFC champs, Raiders, who always seem to be giving us the bug lately, Chargers, who people are ready to crown Herbert. And be careful. And be careful about Herbert. I want to see him do it again. And obviously too, you got the Broncos, who are terrible. So that's kind of fun. But all that to be said, away this year, Ravens, Bengals, of course. Of course, you got the Steelers away, then you get them at home. Patriots, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs, Packers on the road. At home this year, Texans again, Raiders again. So those two teams come back to Cleveland. Lions, Broncos, and Bears come to Cleveland this year.
I know people think that this schedule is harder than last year's schedule so far on paper. I think it's about even.
It's a lot tougher. The NFC East was way down. Way down. The Browns.
See how this plays out.
The Browns really did not have a game outside of the Dallas game where the NFC East game.
Well, yeah, that did make a big difference. Yeah.
I mean, Eagles was somewhat competitive. Really never in doubt Washington football team, and really never in doubt with the Giants. So those easy games go away. I mean, I will say this. I thought they got a nice break, even though you have to go to Arrowhead, to bring Broncos and to bring Raiders to Cleveland. I think it's nice. Going to the Chargers, even that's a neutral game. Neutral game. And Arizona Cardinals, I mean, you got the Heisman Trophy winners facing off again. Revenge game, by the way. Revenge game.
Boy, I want to beat the Chiefs.
Might be the first Sunday night game. Is the first Thursday night game is going to go now to the Bucks. So maybe it's the first Sunday night game.
No.
There's a lot of rumors about that. We'll see. I took all this game and I took what's ahead is the Browns ready to go. We need to fix again. Sherman, Lattimore, Peterson, cool. Who is playing the other end opposite of Myles Garrett? That's number one. Everything else we'll figure out. That's where I'm at on this.
Yep.
That's where I'm at on
Nothing
this.
to add. Nothing to add. I agree.
Nothing to add is right. So let's go to Schottenheimer, which I was saddened to hear about his. And he's been battling dementia for a while. And it's finally to the point now where he's in a hospice for people. I think this was announced on what, Thursday? It was. I think it was Thursday.
It was mid-late last week. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's really sad. Marty, I spent obviously time with him, interviewing him for Believe Land. His wife, Pat's, they're just an awesome couple. Schottenheimer's a really, really good man. Means well. Not saying Jared brought up, and Jared's right. He had his angst with Bernie, and he had some angst at times with other players on the team. But everybody said the same thing from what I was reading over the weekend, and I kind of got the same vibe from him. He can be tough for sure, but very fair and very loving at the same time. And what I mean by that is, I think he pushed buttons and he pushed players, but Schottenheimer was always, always very fair. I loved Marty, even before meeting him. Loved Marty.
He did things with the Browns in the modern era that no other coach did.
He took him to that level in the 80s. He was a good representation of the team. He was fired unfairly. He should have never. I'm not fired. I guess he was. I think his contract had played out. They should have brought him back after the Oilers lost in the playoffs. That was a mistake.
Well, we all.
And that was admitted later by a lot. That was a mistake. Schottenheimer really fit into the city well. Really fit with this team well. I think it would have been even though Bud Carson did a nice job, took him to the AFC Championship game. I think if Schottenheimer would have stayed, it would have been a much longer tenure of winning, to be honest with you. I really do. I think it was that much of a mistake. It is really sad. I think sometimes he gets forgotten in the 80s Browns. He represented a lot, and he did a lot for this team.
He shouldn't get forgotten. He's the only one he's the guy that sticks out in my mind more than anyone else.
I know. He's just a wonderful coach. I know he had some moments against the Broncos, which we won't relive, but he also had great wins against the Colts, great wins against the Bills. He had a great win against the Jets. He did not coach the Bills game. That's my fault. He coached the Colts to a victory. He coached the Jets to a victory in the playoffs, the double overtime game, and then the Colts with Eric Dickerson. So he had some big wins in the playoffs too. Big wins. So he did some big things. I was wrong about the Bills. That was my fault. That was Bud. But going back again, he did a lot. He's a good man. And that was his first head coaching gig. And it's unfairly labeled for his losses against the Broncos. He did a lot more to that. Good man. I hope he's feeling, I heard from reports he's feeling comfortable, which is good. I just wish him and his family all the best. Good dude, good man, and should not be forgotten.
Yeah. And we talked about his ties to Kansas City as well.
Yep.
We were going into that game.
Yep. San Diego, Washington, Cleveland, and Kansas City. Mm-hmm. And again, a Pittsburgh guy. Grew up in the Pittsburgh area. His son Brian's a part of the league. Very, very proud of his son. As when I was interviewing him for Believe Land, Brian just got the offensive coordinator job with Georgia in college. So he's very, very proud of Brian, as he should have been. Again, I'm repeating myself, but I got to say it again. Schottenheimer was a good man and a very good coach. Yeah. It made a big impact in his organization and us as fans. And he really, again, sometimes we've had good coaches that don't really fit in the mold. Even though Belichick's a great coach, Belichick didn't fit the Cleveland mold, didn't fit the theme. Schottenheimer did. Schottenheimer really, really fit in well. Worked hard, coached in big spots, was not afraid of the moment, very confident in his abilities in those spots, and was really that guy you knew, a quiet, good leader, a strong leader, confident in big spots. Gets overshadowed by what happened in the Broncos games, and it shouldn't be. Wonderful, wonderful coach. Wonderful. We'll never forget the double overtime victory. We'll never forget the Colts victory. Never. Never. Good man. Hope he's resting easy. We will get into season's review of the Browns going throughout the months of February and March, because I think there's only so much you can break down for the Cavs and Indian spring training. So we'll do that going into that in March Madness. But, again, I left feeling from the Super Bowl. Okay, going to the game again one more time. Boring game. The Chiefs just were flat. 2 out of the last 3, both were in Tom Brady led teams. Boring Super Bowls. Chiefs, Bucks. Who had that? Boring. Very boring. Game was over by middle of third quarter. Amazing.
Yeah. And it was defined by Brady and Gronkowski. Connected on 2 touchdown passes. Hilarious. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I just did. I thought it was hilarious.
I will say, and we're not Chiefs fans, obviously. If I were a Chiefs fan, that's a tough loss. That is a tough loss. Your team didn't show up in the Super Bowl.
I got to be honest. I think most of them are blaming the refs. I'm not lying. I think most of them are blaming the refs. They are.
I thought the game had some life to it when the Chiefs stopped them on the 1 yard line, but boy, that was it. After you don't. By the way,
and then made it and then completed the first play for a gainer at 10 or 11 too. Looked like they were going to move the ball.
By the way, speaking of
kicking, they were going to move the ball a handful of times.
By the way, speaking of kicking, how's that Kansas City punter doing today?
Ooh. You have a 25-yard punt.
When you see the referee running up the sideline on a punt,
isn't that always brutal? You're like, stop.
Oh, he's got his hand up in the air. Oh, fuck. It's not a meteor. There's something going on.
Oh, man.
Was supposed to be the game of the ages, Damien on Facebook. Yeah. And I will say too, in fairness, the only thing I'll give the Chiefs, I'm not gonna give them the refs thing, because I agree with Jared. Some of those calls were flag happy for Tom. Some of those were not, though. They were fair. I'll say in fairness, what happened with Andy Reid's son before the game, I think played more of an impact than people want to admit. It did not determine the outcome, but I think it really affected.
And for anyone who didn't know, what Andy Reid's son got in a car accident. And what, hit a car that had 2 young girls in it, and one of the girls is in critical condition, or I just
doing okay. But when I'm saying doing okay, like they're in the hospital, they're still in intensive care, but really sad story. And then the bigger thing that's being reported is the officers are curious to know, and Reid did admit in his police report they had been drinking, whether that's been excessive to the amount of where he was drunk, whether it's excessive enough to the point where he was out of control. They'll find out. But you could tell after the game, Andy Reid, you're never going to, by the way, that's not the reason why the Chiefs lost, but you could tell it's been affecting Andy Reid. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I'll tell you the other one too that Damien brought up, which was the last one, was the Chiefs offensive line even on the field during the game. Damien on Facebook, I thought the same thing. Eric, I guess that Fisher kid's really good, because boy, when he was not in the game, he looked like a.
Was he the only one, or were there a couple? Was he the only guy that was off the field?
Fisher. I don't follow the Chiefs enough to know, but I'll just say this: that looked like Steve Young said it, but I thought the same thing. Are the Chiefs in preseason mode? Were they just not prepared? They just did not look prepared.
they weren't playing tough. There were times where it looked like there were guys that went unblocked. Completely unblocked on the line, like just completely.
But even they were just off. They were just off. They were just off. Two
starting linemen out. That's what I thought. I knew it was more than one. I thought. Yeah.
By the way, the lack of buzz was alarming for the Super Bowl. I would not be surprised if ratings were down.
Well, you wouldn't know that outside the stadium. Good God, yikes!
What was going on outside the stadium?
A super spreader event.
Oh, Super Bowl. I'll say this: there's a lot of people on Twitter saying the stadium's full. Those were more than 2/3 were cutouts.
Oh yeah, inside. Yeah.
I thought that was kind of chuckling, Mike, but they were cutouts. I mean, the NFL did a hell of a job. It looked full.
Yeah, I know. I think I did see someone. I won't. No names, please. But there was a certain journalist who took a photo and freaked out and posted it, and I chuckled when I was like, "Those aren't." Calm yourself.
Those are cutouts.
Those are cutouts. But the photos outside were pretty bad.
That's alarming. Oh well.
Yeah, but Florida.
I like the M&M commercial. I really like Will Ferrell. Anything Will Ferrell is always a win.
I thought most of the commercials were awful. Almost all of them. Beavis and Butthead made me chuckle, but I'd seen that one before prior.
I like the Bud Light commercial too, the seltzer water. Seltzers. I thought that was funny. The commercials were good actually. I was on the opposite end. I liked them.
Thought they were blah. Didn't do anything for me.
I liked Will Ferrell's a lot. Norway was funny.
I don't remember his. I must have had my face in my phone, which is nothing new.
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Damian, good transition. Looking at the starting lineup: Drummond, Allen, Okoro, Sexton, Garland. I love the first two names. I have been shouting this from the hilltops. I'm going to lead off with the Cavs time now. Larry Nance is out 4 to 6 weeks with a let me get this straight. It's a fractured finger, right?
Finger, and he just had surgery.
Yeah, so he's out.
Yep.
So he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. I have been screaming this on Instagram. I'm going to scream it on here. You should be playing Allen and Drummond together. I don't know why you're not playing them together. They belong together on the floor together. This lineup of sometimes of Stevens and Windler, no. Drummond and Allen, yeah.
Go bigger, go home.
I mean, you have two of the better players on your team, and they're big and tall. Play them at the same time.
Why not?
Just fucking go for it.
Why not?
I don't understand. I'm so
you lost 3 in a row. Go for it.
I just am so glad to hear that because it was so alarming. By the way, let's just go through the Bucks. Deja vu all over again. Friday and Saturday. Cavs come out tough, keep the game close. Giannis stretches his arms in the third quarter and goes, all right, I'm going to take this game over. He puts in some buckets. They're down 20. And then by the end of the game, you're down 25-30. I mean, it was deja vu. It's the first time in the Bickerstaff era I was like, JB, you got to coach. You got to make adjustments from game to game. He didn't make any adjustments. And I kept saying, I was like screaming. I was like, why are you not putting Drummond and Allen together? Change this lineup. Give it a spark. These are two of your better players. Don't you think it's going to cause a problem on the floor? Glad to hear it's happening. Thank you. Can't wait to watch it tonight. Excited to watch it.
I still can't watch it.
No. I'll be watching.
My house is never going to be done.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Son of a bitch.
You have ceiling fans.
I have one ceiling fan, and I think I have some drywall up on my ceiling downstairs now too.
That's good. The Cavs are up early, 11-6. So to wisp through this section, this is not surprising for how the Cavs are going. I think until they win, every game is big now. They've got to stop this losing streak. The Clippers, Bucks was a disappointing 3-game stretch at home.
Well, you knew, Andy. You knew that it was going to get tough here.
Oh, it's very tough. Yeah.
And you knew once you couldn't lose Larry Nance Jr. and we lost Larry Nance Jr. You know we need Kevin Love back. Lord knows Kevin. I don't know. Does he want to come back? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
We'll talk about that. I'm going to put the game up here as we talk, but I'm going to talk about that too. I mean, there's a lot of rumors, not from so much the Cleveland sources, but from GMs looking at Kevin Love. And the biggest question they have is, does Kevin Love even want to play?
Which I said a week earlier. Andy, you and I talked about this a week earlier when I was driving back from Cranberry, from Whole Foods, the grocery store, an hour away. Because that's where
there's a zippy Jared I've been waiting for.
And I say to you, well, I drank a cup of coffee tonight.
There we go.
And I said, Andy, we got the game on. We can't do that.
It's okay. I'm going to put it right here.
I said, Andy, does he even want to play anymore? Does he even want to play anymore? And what'd my wife say? I said, he's out gallivanting in New York with his wife, with his fiance.
Congratulations.
During a game. And we're going, does he even want to play? Because I'm tired of these. Look, when guys don't play because they got a broken leg, they got a broken hand, they got a torn this or a torn that, cool. But every fucking week that you hear that someone's got a strain this, a strain that, a strain. Come on.
Non-impressive.
How many weeks do you have a strained calf? I'm dead serious here, man.
Since game 3.
A strained calf since game 3. A strained calf was coming along.
He is an excellent commentator who's very good in the fourth quarter.
A strained calf.
Maybe we can get him for commentating.
What in the world is a strained calf for months? What is he not getting enough electrolytes? I don't get it. That is someone who doesn't want to play. Unless I don't know. Someone tell me. Maybe I'm making it up.
All I'll say to what Jared's alluding to, there is a rumor going around GMs that they don't have the vibe that Kevin Love wants to play. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying I'm here to confirm it. I'm just seeing from that article and hearing from other, these blogs and everything else. But, there's this rumors floating around from GMs who have been asking about Love. That their first question is not so much of Kevin Love's contract or what are you going to get back. Fuck, the Suns just had a sick dunk. But here's the thing. The Suns were such a good program for basketball for such a long time. It's so weird to see them suck down for 20 years. They have been bad for a while. God, when I was growing up, the Suns were always good. Okay, Damian. I want to get at Damian's comment. Now, Damian, I'm going to switch topics and go back. Yeah. Delhi's is much more serious. Delhi tried playing the other day, and he got dizzy spells. And there's a report in The Athletic. He's going to retire.
Yeah.
And I feel for Delhi. He is trying to come back. He has attempted multiple times, and now he is at a point where he's probably going to have to retire.
Delhi, it sounds like he's got TBI.
I think he's got some serious stuff going on.
Yeah.
Cavs down 1, by the way. Fucking Suns give him just trouble. But to Damian's point, the article was done in The Athletic, and it does sound like sadly for Delhi, he's not going to be playing much longer. We'll have to see what happens. God damn it, Suns now up 3. But I'll just say again, I think for Delhi's sake, he tried practicing the other day and could not even get through. I practiced, had dizzy spells, and I think they're kind of at that point where it's like, well, maybe it's time to shut it down. That's sad. Delhi's a good man, good player, good heart. Obviously, towards a lot part of his career, it wasn't the same Delhi we remember in 15 or 16. We all know that.
No,
doesn't mean he's not a part of us.
Delhi's a gets us guy, right?
Boy, 2015, we didn't win, but boy, we'll remember Dellavedova drinking coffee at half court, shooting shots. I mean, just unbelievable. Really love that man. So that's what's going on with Delhi. Kevin Atkins, I love you, Kevin. Not cutting the nuts down without Delhi on Facebook. I agree with you. I have a Delhi jersey. I will never take it down. I love him. EJ, he'll be cutting the cold cuts in the Delhi. Oh, EJ. Well, EJ, you're funny. I saw your movie lineup, Spaceballs, top 10. Wasn't surprised, but all to be said, that's what's going on in Delhi. Now back to Love. So that's what's going on with those rumors. Now, supposedly, because he did color, I thought he did a nice job on television, by the way, on Saturday night. He did most of the fourth quarter with the guys. But what I'll say is it sounds like Love will be coming back sometime in this road trip. That's what we're hearing. That's what we're hearing.
Retire his number.
Delhi? Sure, why not?
Damien's.
Sure. Sure.
I'm with it.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Let's do it. We keep bringing it up and dropping it down. You hit it.
Let's create a deli like they do at the corner. Let's create a deli for Delhi. For Delhi.
The corner deli.
The corner deli. There you go.
Why not?
The Cavs, though, back to the Cavs, even though they're down now to the Suns. I'm glad to see that Drummond and Allen are playing together, as Damien got my hint. Did you say together on Facebook? Yes, I said together. When you see Friday night's one thing, but when you see the same gameplay again, and it was like the same game, it's like, so we just made no adjustments. And I like Windler's spunkiness. I like his 3-point shooting. That guy plays small. I'm sorry.
No. I'm
sorry. I'm worried about Windler. Like him, but he plays small. And is everybody like, I mean, nice guy, but what are we doing with Chetty? I mean, Chetty Osman disappears in these games. I mean, runs wild, got a beautiful head of lettuce, but I don't know. Remember we were debating about him with Hayden Grove about who's better, Sexton or Chetty. I think I might have got that one right. I love you, Hayden. I love you. Might have got that right.
I miss Hayden.
I miss Hayden too. He's also got a good hair lettuce.
Yes,
Deli's Deli.
And a hell of a voice.
Oh my God. Yeah, I would lose that competition.
Hayden sings the classics.
I'll play him in poker though anytime he wants.
Listen to him on Spotify.
Yep. This is a key stretch though for the good name. You can be a partner. Good name. You can be a partner. Side conversations going on Facebook tonight with Damien and EJ. Garland with a big shot. Here's another one. Okay, a couple more notes. Garland has a good floater. Garland's game has improved. Garland needs to take this offseason to work on 3-point shooting. He has got the floater. He's got the dribble drive down pretty nicely. He does a nice job for the mid-range. He has got to develop a 3-point shot. And the Cavs have to get a point guard. Not a shooting point guard, a true point guard. Sexton down the lane up one. You got to get a true point guard on this team. It's important. It's important. Those are things I'm seeing that are missing on this team. And I really mean it. I saw that too, Damien. The backcourt is starting off against the Suns. Hopefully they can keep it up. I like Chetty Osman's heart and energy. He has got to start finding his place on the court. He's got to. He runs wild, and I just don't know what he does at times. He is very frustrating. Even with Windler's size, I know what Windler does on the court. I know what he's trying to do. Chetty's just all over the map. Runs wild. I don't know. So all that to be said, there's a lot of rumors about Drummond being traded. I don't think you can trade him. Jared, do you want to trade Drummond? I don't. Still, I don't. I know people are going to kill me. I don't care. I don't want to trade him. I like Drummond.
I don't think anybody wants to trade him.
There's a lot of people that do. Believe me, on Instagram, there's a lot of people that do. Is Chetty Osman just did a sky hook, clank, and didn't work out. Sky hooking in the middle of the lane. Just lost. Oh, what a surprise. That turned into a quick 2 for the Suns. How the fuck are you, Chetty Osman, doing a sky hook in the middle?
You don't have trading Drummond, right? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Again, you're talking about, and then what?
That's my point. I don't understand. And by the way, they said they don't want all draft picks. Okay, great, but who are you going to get back to replace that?
Yeah, there's no way.
None. Chetty Osman, another clank.
Stop shooting.
Oh my God, just get him off the floor. He has had a bad stretch. He's had a good stretch of moments this year. He is having one of those weeks where he's not playing well. And another Jay, God, the Suns can really shoot. Down 3 again. Again, I wouldn't trade Drummond unless you're getting something back that's very valuable, because everybody's mentioned, and Windhurst made a great point. You can trade Drummond, sure, and they're looking to trade him. You're going to have to take contract money back. It's not going to be all draft picks or future stars. You're going to have to take some money back. So you're taking on a veteran of some sort. You have to. Even at the money, Drummond's not cheap. Yeah, I agree, Jamie. And I want to bring this comment up. Chetty is really starting to go downhill really fast. I agree. He's had a bad 2 weeks. and it's noticeable. I do the Instagram after the show, and I'm getting more and more comments, and I'm like, I've been seeing this for years. I think the soreness is finally coming to the light.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nice player. I like his hustle. He just has no placement on the court, and I'm not trying to be mean. I have a hard time understanding what he does on the floor. I really do. I have a very hard time understanding what he does on the floor.
I haven't seen him all season, but I know exactly what you're talking about just from watching him last year.
He just runs.
Yes.
Just runs. No purpose.
It's wacky. I know.
Yeah.
I remember.
Wild. It's wild. It's a very, very bizarre. I would not trade Drummond. We beat that to the horse. I would have beat that dead horse. I've been leaving out words today, and since this has been great. I would have everyone do a homework assignment. You have to read the nice article done by our own Colin Sexton in the Players Tribune.
Very good stuff.
And he wrote a great article. He is a part of us. We need to keep him around. I did this with Holly, so I'm going to do the same thing. I don't think he's an elite player, but that does not mean he's a very good player. And I've been saying this for the last 2 years. I'm going to stick on this forever. He is a good, solid pro to good all-star caliber player. That's what he is. He's not elite, and that's okay, but he's a very good player. And I love his heart and his energy. Yeah. And I can see him with a couple other additions being a big part of a big run through the playoffs. I'm not just saying that. I really can.
Well, that's what I took from what he wrote. What I took from what he wrote is he's got a big heart. He cares a lot about the game. He likes when people, he's got a chip on his shoulder in a good way. Not in the sense to where he's cocky about it. He just uses that energy to fuel his game and to try to improve and to try to get better and to prove things to himself, not necessarily to others, but to elevate his own game. And he recognized too, especially now where he's gotten to the point where it was me to get to this point. And then now that he's with the Cavs, it's not me, it's the team.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that, I think he's learned because of Bickerstaff. And a lot of that has also really sunk in with him after those Nets wins. So that's what I took away from reading that article with Sexton. And it means a lot to see how this young man is developing and growing up in Cleveland. And I love that for him.
Yep.
And for Cleveland and for the Cavs.
I like how we realized that the losing is not good or it's not fun, but it also taught him some things that he needed to learn.
Because it wasn't something he ever experienced, which
correct.
A lot of young players have come to Cleveland to learn about losing.
Yeah. And the Cavs since LeBron's gone. No, good.
Yes.
But this team does have the positives. Even with the losing and what's been going on in this frustrating week, this team does have an identity. Yep. It does not feel like the Beeline losing or the Drew losing team like from 2 years ago. This team has more of a purpose. I do like to trade a lot for Prince and Allen. That has added a lot to this. Can you imagine we didn't have them right now? Oh my God, the Cavs would be really thin. So they've done some good things. I don't want to just shit on this team altogether. There are some positives coming from this. This is the hardened week. This is it. There's only one team, the Thunder, between now and the All-Star break with a losing record. That's it. This is a tough stretch. Yeah. Even when they go back home, not easy. A lot of tough games coming up. So this is the biggest part of the year. I like Bickerstaff too. I really do. I think you'll learn. I picked on him during the Bucks game, and it was fair. He did not make adjustments. Doesn't mean I don't like the guy. I think I like him a lot enough to know where he goes, hey, I'm not stupid. I've obviously been watching the official Cleveland sports account after Instagram games. Randy Billman went off saying, I need to play Allen and Drummond together, and he did. So thank you, Coach. Thanks for listening. Come back. I'll be done tonight after the game. Put me on in the locker room. I like this team, though, and I like where they're going. I really do, Jared. I like it.
All right.
Who's getting Eddie Rosario jersey?
Cleveland Indians.
Indians time.
I'm not
Indians
doing
time.
it.
I am. Hey, by the way, he's not going to torch us this year. He's on our team. On the good guys.
I deleted a tweet. I almost went on a big rant. Ooh, I almost went on a big rant after the here we go. This is my meds kicking in right now. Andy and I talked offline. My brain does not function. I'm very forgetful. I forgot my phone number and my address today. It's very scary. After the who just signed the contract? Who's the pitcher? Who's that idiot? Threw the ball. Trevor Bauer. Thank you.
Best throw in Kansas City. Best throw in Kansas City you'll ever see. Best throw you'll ever see.
Thank you.
AJCB awards coming. AJCB awards coming.
I really, Andy, and this is a whole other story. I am really disgusted with Major League Baseball right now. It is very hard for me to want to spend any money on anything related to anything Major League Baseball right now. And I mean that even on a ticket to go watch my Indians, who I love dearly, who I am are a big part of why I moved back home to this area, who, raised me in Jacobs Field in my early teens in the 90s, who I modeled my swing and my at bats after Jim Thome. Baseball was my sport growing up. I am so disgusted with Major League Baseball right now. And I know we're going to get into some of this, but whether it be the Callaways or the Manfreds or the lack of money sharing throughout the league, or the fact that, just with the Dodgers and a guy like Trevor Bauer and, more money on him in a year than the Indians spend on their entire roster. It just fucking disgusts me. I am so over Major League Baseball. The owners and the players can't agree on a fucking thing. The DH pissing and moaning about this and that and shit, both sides shitting on fans and don't even care. I am over it. The league is destroying itself and fucking every one of us over at the same time. I am over it. I am just over it. I didn't realize I was going to get into this right now, Andy, but I am just unhinged when it comes to Major League Baseball. Unhinged. Even when it comes to some of the writers, folks coming out and saying, oh, Trevor Bauer's going to sign with the Mets. No, he's not. You didn't even have good information, moron. I'm not going to give this guy's name out, but you know who you are. I can't stand this shit anymore, Andy. I can't stand it. Baseball disgusts me right now, and it breaks my heart because I love this game more than anything. There. That's where I'm at right now. God bless. Breaks my heart. Oh.
I understand Jared's frustration. I am weirdly the opposite. I cannot wait for baseball to start. I'm looking forward to Teddy Rosario playing in the outfield. I really am. I am the complete opposite. I can't wait for baseball. I'm
cutting this into a commercial.
I can't wait. I really can't. I want to see Daniel Johnson. I'm ready for Shane Bieber. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see Emmanuel Clase. I know that's weird to say. The Cavs are shitting the bed in the first quarter. Oh my gosh. Down 6. That was nasty little. Poor Jared can't watch it because of his cable nightmare. But the Cavs were keeping it close.
Talking about another.
Yeah. But Cavs were keeping it close to 2, and then turnover, bang, down 6. So I am excited, but I understand Jared's plight. It's been tough. I have turned a corner on this. But I don't blame Jared. And I was going to, but I have sympathy and I understand Jared. And I understand there's many others. I am ready, though, for the Indians to start. I can't wait for the season, actually. I'm actually sniffing it. Probably because I've been talking to people in the Indians and talking about the season. That plays a part of it because I'm working on a film that's to deal with the Cleveland Indians. So that probably plays a part of it, to be fair. All that to be said, I can't wait. I'm excited. I want to see what the Indians are going to do. I like the Eddie Rosario signing. I thought that actually was a good thing. Hernandez, don't sneeze on. That's a good thing. Do I think that Tribe are making the playoffs? No. Do I think there's a big drop-off from last year to this year? Oh, yes. Yes. Does that mean I'm not excited? No, I'm excited because I think I've become realistic I'm realistic Ryan. Where it's like, okay, I gotta know where this is at. I know there's going to be the White Sox are going to win this division. I'm accepting of that. I still want them to do well. I'll be there. I'll watch every game. But I'll spin this to where Jared's saying there's a lot of PR cleanup, and that's why Jared Watson's frustrated, and there's many other frustrated fans. There was a whole Twitter thing with Trevor Bauer and the Mets and Dodgers, which I don't know how to describe. I want to do a documentary on Trevor Bauer badly. Because he is a fascinating player. He is the most fascinating. People forget 2 years ago, he threw a fucking ball over the center field fence and then later on made t-shirts to tease himself about it. It's amazing. It is amazing. He cut his hand before an ALCS game in a very important playoff game. His hand started fucking bleeding out of control on the mound.
He's such a weirdo.
He is the most unique person I've ever met. I've never, Jared, I'm not just saying this to give him more. I have never saw what when I saw it go down, I'm like, of course, his agent's fucking tweeting stuff down the two teams. I'm like, who does this? Who does this? This is insane. Then he does some Twitter. He did some sort of announcement he had ready to go, and he had all this announcement stuff for the Mets because he really didn't know if he's going to the Mets or Dodgers. Someone in his inner camp of Bauer actually hit the wrong button, released all the Mets stuff. That's why Mets fans went crazy. Like, oh my God, he's coming to the Mets.
Well, there's a certain reporter that released a bunch of stuff about the Mets, and this is a guy who's released stuff incorrectly a handful of times and looked like an idiot for doing it. So,
well, all I'll say is it's fascinating. You know, we can say, who is it? I don't even know who that is.
Well, once again, my brain right now.
Okay, well, look it up because
it's usually a name that I don't forget too, and it's pissing me off that
but it was fascinating. Now, all that to be said, I do like the Rosario signing for the Indians. They need someone with experience to play the outfield that helps out there. There was also some good news. I thought it was good news. I think most of you will think it's good news, I would hope, for the Indians fans. Anthony did come out with some sort of announcement saying we are not trading J. Ram. He's going to be starting third baseman for the Indians this year. So that we can put that rumor to rest. So I think that's it for that kind of stuff. Look, the Indians, I'm not naive. Even with Hernandez coming back, the Eddie Rosario signing, the Indians have some real growing stuff here to do. I think it's going to be growing pains at times. You got to figure out your new shortstop. Sounds like they're leaning towards Rosario. The other Rosario, now we have Rosario brothers. We have Rosario at shortstop. Sounds like Jimenez is going to be sent down. You have Hernandez at second. It sounds like there's a whole log jam of what's going on at first base. You hear Josh Naylor's name being rumored there. Oscar Mercado being center field.
Send it to you in the private chat.
Okay.
Sent you the name.
Okay. But I just think it's one of those things where it's like, I think it's going to be interesting to see where all this goes this year. And I'm not saying it's playoffs or anything like that, but I am more excited. But I want to echo it. There's labor negotiations that aren't going well. Chris Russo said it on KNR, and he's right. After this year, they're going to have a major strike again. Yeah, I thought so. I've not seen him tweeting much, and yeah.
Oh, you just saw it.
He got smoked. That's boy. Because I did not
see first time either.
He has not been tweeting as much lately, and when I say lately, last 72 hours. Anyways, though, Grady Sizemore asking on EJ. Anyone know what Grady Sizemore's up to these days? I don't. Poor guy ran to a fence. Never was the same. I will say this to EJ's comment: you're going to see a lot of Bradley Zimmer stuff come up again. I'm seeing a lot of those reports. They're going to give him some more chances. And I was on that train. I don't know if I'm on that train anymore, but we're going to see a lot of Bradley Zimmer. I think you're going to see a lot of Yu Chang, which I'm on that train. I'd like to see what Yu Chang could do in a full year, but Zimmer, I don't know. I might have to get off. Damien on Facebook, if they would have traded J-Wim, I would have been inside the front office throwing papers. I agree. I would have been in the Jared Watson camp on that. I would be like,
still already there. I'm done.
Yeah. We have Shane Bieber. He won the Cy Young. We had the second place runner-up to AL MVP. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? I'm excited. Emmanuel Clase. I want my jersey. Been waiting all this time. Does it bother you Kluber's a Yankee?
That's a weird fit for him.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it?
Prince with a Euro step layup. I thought this for Kluber. I'm happy for Kluber. It does bother me. I don't like the Yankees at all.
I don't know how it's going to work out for him.
I don't know. We'll see. I've learned to pause because the Yankees have he has a good understanding of surroundings. I think that will help him here. But I also will say to Jared's liner in there, I would be very, very careful if I were them too, because I think there's Yankee fans who think it's going to be the Kluber of old. And that could be, I mean, the guy only pitched one game last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. They said he looked good in his practice squad, whatever you want to call it. I like Corey as a Kluber, as a man. I'm happy for him. He's a good dude. Won 2 Cy Youngs for us.
Right.
Great man.
Love Kluber.
But him being Yankee, if he pitches well, will hurt. I'll be the first one to say it's going to hurt a lot. It's going to mean. I'm going to have to chew Tums to get through that. I'll be there, by the way, April 22nd, Yankees Indians. I bet you I'll be there. I even got the games memorized.
Hey, who has access to our YouTube account? Commenting on our YouTube account.
I don't know.
Said, agreed. What a joke of a lineup, but still only down 1.
That's me.
Oh, you were responding.
Yeah.
And I was so confused. Again, the meds.
That was me. I was talking to Damien. It went to all the different things.
Oh, it went out to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
No, because I think down here is a tab called all.
Oh, yeah. You got to switch that, Andy.
Yeah,
there you go. You got to switch it to pick where you direct it. Yeah, there you go.
Damien on Facebook. MLB and MLBPA just agreed to terms tonight. Want to go check that out? Ooh, I will actually. Jared, why don't you do your long saying thing, and then I'll check out what just happened on MLB.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see if I can even read tonight and get through this stuff. I got through the intro, though, without screwing any of that up. We're brought to you by Waiting for Next Year. Check them out, original Cleveland sports reporting at waitingfornextyear.com. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, at CLE and Beyond. Shoot us an email, andyandjared@gmail.com. That's Andy and Jared, JARID, @gmail.com. And don't forget, after this Cavs game tonight, Andy will be on our Instagram page at Official Cleveland Sports, at Official Cleveland Sports. He'll be there live to bitch and complain and moan because the Cavs, well, maybe they'll win. Who knows? And break that 3-game losing streak. It's going to be a rough one. Let's see how it goes. Also, we are part of Evergreen Podcasts. Evergreen Podcasts. Yes.
Yes.
Final thoughts.
Our good friend Bob Nightingale. This is what we got here. If MLB
well, then are you sure? Are you sure you want to read if it's from Bob Nightingale?
The new health and
because
safety
now
protocol.
that you said it, Bob Nightingale's the one who said that Trevor Bauer was going to the Mets.
the new health and safety protocols as MLB.
I don't believe it. I don't think there's an agreement yet.
The new health and safety protocols MLB proposed last month and Union finally approved tonight will have a 7-inning doubleheader. Okay, cool. Runners starting at second base. I actually like that rule. Both sides are in an agreement to a get-go. That's good. I don't know about it looks like, let's see. If he also says here, if the Union and the MLB and the Union agreed on the universal DH and expanded postseason, we'll basically have the same rules as last year. I'm trying to find out what's going on with the DH and playoffs. Let me do that as we wrap up. Are you excited about your Buckeye basketball? They're having a very good year. Great win in Iowa City.
I have actually been actively seeking out games. So, yes. Yes, I'm starting to look for when they're playing. That's a start for me. First time in a long time. Yeah.
There is no universal DH agreement.
Like I said.
None. There we go. Okay. That's what I got from this. But they have an agreement. They'll be playing. This will probably be the last agreement before said new agreement that has to come around before the season after this. I mean, the season next. Well, I can't talk tonight either for some reason. But yeah, that's coming up. But they are playing now. I can't wait. I'll be there. I'll be excited. And I will say college basketball for our fan bases. I'm a Purdue Boilermaker fan. They're playing very well. They beat Ohio State twice, by the way. They beat them twice.
Ohio State
Twice. They played them twice, and they beat them twice. Purdue won twice.
Ohio State's playing right now?
They're not. Oh. Purdue played Ohio State twice and won twice. See that flag?
Huh? What's that?
They won twice. Purdue won twice this year.
I think I'm going to finish eating my leftovers.
This is a great show tonight. We will be back.
I'm surprised it's better than I thought it would go. I've been a mess, folks. I've been a mess. I don't think you understand. No, I know. I really am surprised, but I felt really good. I feel like I needed this, Andy. Like I really, honest to God, I'm not being facetious when I say I'm not. Wow, it's a big word. It's a bigger word than I thought I could even remember how to say. I really needed this tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm excited about baseball. The Cavs are doing the thing I've been screaming about. It's good to see Drummer now, and they're down 7. But I'm glad to see that they're finally playing those two together. That makes a big difference. Maryland, Damien's all over it. Damien right now, Ohio State.
See, that's what I thought. I was reading what Damien said. I'm putting it on. They're playing the Terrapins. He used to live there.
The Terps. Tricky Terrapins. Ohio State's very good. Big Ten's by far the best conference.
What channel, Damien?
By the way, no Kansas.
Do all the work for me.
Yeah, seriously. No Kansas, no Duke, no Michigan State, no North Carolina in the top 25.
Yeah, weird. Very weird. So weird.
None.
But I'm cool with it.
Hey. Cool with it. It does give you hope.
Looking for FS1. The game right now. Oh yeah, I got that. I got some FS1.
Nice dunk by Drummond.
Where else is that? FS1. Where we at? FS1.
We will be doing AJCB awards.
There we go. I want to watch that game.
The power of remote control in a podcast. We will be doing AJCB awards. Now our second annual. I can put that now on the teaser.
Yeah, now we can say it. Yeah.
The second annual. And then we'll be doing a review of the Browns throughout the months of February and March going into April for our Indians. They should be named the Cleveland Buckeyes or Clevelanders or Spiders.
They shouldn't be named the Cleveland Indians this season, but they are. So, again, another reason why I'm bitter. Another reason.
Our poor tribe.
Another reason. Just keep playing games. Quit playing games with my heart. Andy, you like the commercials, but where was the comment? There we go. EJ, Jared, commercials versus The Weeknd. Who you got? I liked The Weeknd, but I'll be honest. I like The Weeknd's music.
I do.
I thought the performance was but that's because the Pro Bowl produced it terribly. The audio was weird.
The Weeknd did the best he could with what was given to him. Was my comment.
Correct. Yeah,
I thought he was. I think there's been far worse. I think there's been far better. I thought he's right in the middle. But I thought The Weeknd did a nice job.
You know what? You know what I want? Let's do Creed again.
Oh God.
Creed. Or no, not again. That was on Thanksgiving, wasn't it? That was Creed on Thanksgiving. The Dallas game. Can you take me higher? All right, talk again soon.
Cleveland discounts, Damien, on Facebook. We did
that one.
We did clip a coupon and get 2 players for 1 for Lindor. We got 2 shortstops for 1 shortstop. That is a 2 for 1. A true 2 for 1. I'm so excited about Jimenez. Even if he starts off in Columbus, I will have his jersey, boy.
The rest of my hunky platter is staring at me right now. I got half a stuffed cabbage over there, some halushki, and I already ate my pierogies.
Drummond just got blocked attempting a dunk. That's disheartening.
All right, Andy.
Now down 12.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
This
We
West
have
Coast swing
business.
is
We have business to attend to.
We do. This
Tomorrow
West,
or Wednesday?
this West Coast swing for the Cavs is not going well.
All right.
Okoro airball 3. Oh man.
Talk again soon, folks.
Maybe we'll do a projected lottery selections.
Hey, who's glad Tom Brady won another Super Bowl?
Ugh.
Take care, everybody. Talk again soon. All right. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. Oh, no, I shouldn't say it. I'm not going to say it because it sounds mean. No, I'm not going to say it. No, it does sound mean, so I'm not going to say it. All right. That's going to make people mad that I'm not saying it, but I can't say it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Cleveland and Beyond with Andy and Jared is a part of Evergreen Podcast. You can follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Cleveland and Beyond, on Twitter at CLE and Beyond, or shoot them an email at andyandjared@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the website, clevelandandbeyond.net.